Okay, students, today we are starting analytic chemistry, and that is using sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide, or ammonium hydroxide. That is, these are alkalis. Analytic chemistry actually means to analyze the composition of a chemical compound. That means we will analyze that a certain chemical compound is made up of which elements, which it's made up of what positive radical and what negative radical. We identify by that. Now when alkalis like sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide, ammonium hydroxide are added to certain salt solution, then characteristic colored precipitate of metallic hydroxides are formed. That means those are metal ions is identified. Now for example, in a salt you have a positive ion part and a negative ion part. For example, say ferrous sulfate. So ferrous Fe+2 is the metallic part, and the sulfate SO4 2 minus is the non-metallic part. Now if somebody gives me a certain salt and they tells us to identify what salt it is, then we will divide this into two parts. First of all, we will identify the positive part of that, and then we'll do the negative part of that. So we'll first identify that what metallic ions it consists of. So we'll identify Fe+2, and then we'll identify what negative component it has. That is, we'll identify SO4 2 minus. And finally we can conclude that the salt is ferrous sulfate. But in this chapter, in this analytic chemistry, we are using alkalis, and it is a method of identifying only the positive ions. So that means if you have a salt, you can only, if you are given a type of salt, a certain salt, you can identify that this salt is made up of which metallic ions. That means you can identify that whether it is a calcium salt, or it's a magnesium salt, or it's a zinc salt, or it's a lead salt, or it's a copper salt, or it's a ferrous salt, or it is a ferric salt. So like this we can identify. So this chapter we will know how to identify metallic ions. Now for that, before starting the main part of this chapter, it is very important to know this color of the precipitate of metallic salts. In fact, metallic hydroxides. So you should learn this, you should know the color of these salts that's written here. So the first thing is that you copy this so that you have an idea which metallic hydroxide color is what. Like calcium hydroxide, the color is white. Magnesium hydroxide, it is dull white, so white. Zinc hydroxide, it's a gelatinous white, that means it's a little bit shiny, just like toothpaste, Lead hydroxide is also white, but it's generally we say chalky white. Okay. Copper hydroxide is pale blue. Ferrous hydroxide, that is Fe+2, ferrous hydroxide, or iron 2 hydroxide, that is dirty green. And ferric hydroxide, that is reddish brown. So ferric hydroxide means Fe+3, that's iron 3 hydroxide, or also we say ferric hydroxide, the color is reddish brown. So that means you should learn this, and now we'll go forward. Okay. Okay, first calcium salt. Now this is adding by using NaOH. So in this chapter we'll do by adding NaOH and by adding NH4OH. That's in our ICC syllabus. But you remember what similar reactions for NaOH and KOH. So they are same. So first is calcium salt, identification of calcium salts and whether a salt contains Ca plus 2 ions or not. Now the reactions are very easy. With the salt we'll add NaOH solution and there will be a double decomposition precipitation reaction. So you can understand double decomposition, the partner will change. So calcium and hydroxide. So we will get calcium hydroxide CaOH whole twice. So we will get a precipitate here and NaNO3, right? And this calcium hydroxide, you know, that's white PPT. So that is white precipitation. And on adding excess NaOH with this reaction, in this reaction after the precipitate is formed, now if we add excess NaOH, the white PPT is, you know, it's sparingly soluble. The white PPT is sparingly soluble and hence, you know, forms now forming a turbid solution. So milky solution, because it's a sparingly soluble, so it's not soluble totally. So it forms a turbid solution. Now in all this equation, we have to learn, or means you have to practice these two things, that when we are adding the solution first like NaOH, then what precipitate is formed, and on adding excess whether that precipitate is becoming soluble or it is remaining insoluble. So in every reaction you have to learn this, you have to understand this. So in calcium hydroxide what you have seen means in calcium salts, so when we are adding NaOH to a calcium salt means calcium nitrate, then we are getting calcium hydroxide we will get and NaNO3. And on adding excess NaOH, the white PPT of calcium hydroxide becomes sparingly soluble, forming a turbid solution. Okay, forming a turbid solution. Okay. Now next we will do ferrous salt. Fe plus 2. Okay. So I'll write in red. Now suppose we have taken ferrous chloride FeCl2 and if you use NaOH, then you can understand this is Fe plus 2, therefore you will get here FeOH whole twice and plus NaOH, right? And on adding, so this is, we will get ferrous hydroxides and this color of this ferrous hydroxide is dirty green. Okay, it is dirty green. So dirty green precipitate will be formed. So you can understand, if you add NaOH to a ferrous salt, naturally you will get a ferrous hydroxide, and the color of ferrous hydroxide is dirty green, and naturally you will get Na. So FeOH whole twice plus NaCl, right? And on adding excess NaOH, to the dirty green PPT, the solution remains insoluble. So that means the solution remains insoluble. So as I've told you, first we will add NaOH. So naturally we will get ferrous hydroxide and NaCl, and then on adding excess of NaOH to the dirty green PPT, the solution remains insoluble. So with this ferrous salt, so whenever we add NaOH with this ferrous salt, we will always get a dirty green. So if it is ferrous chloride, we will get FeOH plus NaCl. Now again we can take ferrous sulfate also. So now if I add ferrous sulfate and NaOH, you see, then also you get FeOH whole twice, and now here you will get Na2SO4. Understand? If you use ferrous nitrate, here there also you will get FeOH whole twice, and you will get NaNO3. So all the ferrous salt, whenever we use NaOH, we will get ferrous hydroxide as a precipitate and a dirty green precipitate. Again here we will get dirty green precipitate, and on adding excess of NaOH, so here also we will get a dirty green precipitate, and on adding here also, so any ferrous hydroxide means on excess of NaOH it will remain insoluble. Okay. Now next is ferric salt. So that is Fe plus 3. Now suppose we take ferric chloride, so FeCl3 now. Plus NaOH. So here we will get ferric hydroxide, FeOH whole thrice, and plus NaCl. Okay, understand? So we are using ferric chloride here and NaOH, so we get ferric hydroxide. So when we are using ferrous, we are getting ferrous hydroxide, the color is dirty green, and when we are using a ferric salt, we are getting ferric hydroxide, and which color is reddish brown. So reddish brown precipitate. Okay, and here also on adding excess NaOH, the PPT remains, so the PPT remains insoluble. The PPT remains insoluble. So understand, so you can understand how the difference in the color of precipitate tells us about that what type of ions the salt contains. So you can understand. Now if somebody asks you, how can you distinguish between ferrous chloride and ferric chloride? Now suppose you have two salt, you are given a two salt, one is ferrous chloride and one is ferric chloride. You don't know which one is ferrous chloride and which one is ferric chloride. Now they told you how to distinguish between them. So we'll use this test. Okay, what we'll write? We'll say we'll add NaOH solution to both the salt solution. On one we'll get a dirty green precipitate, and on the other we'll get a reddish brown precipitate. The one which we are getting a dirty green precipitate is a ferrous salt, and the other which we are getting a reddish brown precipitate is a ferric salt. So like this, the question can come. Okay. Okay, next is copper salt. Copper salt, that means cupric, in fact, Cu plus 2. Now suppose copper sulfate is a soluble salt of copper, and you should remember, in all the salts that we are using here, they are soluble salts. So because all these are soluble in water, so these are the salt solution: calcium nitrate solution, ferrous chloride solution, ferrous sulfate solution. So all these are solution. Here also copper sulfate solution, and we are using NaOH. So copper sulfate and NaOH, what we will get? CuOH whole twice, CuOH whole twice, and we will get Na2SO4. Instead of copper sulfate, if you can understand, if you take copper nitrate, then also you will get CuOH whole twice, but here what you will get? You will get NaNO3, and the precipitate you will get here copper hydroxide, the precipitate of copper hydroxide, and color of copper hydroxide is pale blue PPT. So pale blue precipitate, and here on adding excess NaOH, the PPT remains insoluble. Okay, so on adding excess NaOH, the PPT remains insoluble. Okay. Okay, now zinc salts. Okay, now suppose we are using zinc sulfate plus NaOH, so you can understand what we get: zinc hydroxide plus Na2SO4. So you get a precipitate of zinc hydroxide, and zinc hydroxide, as you know, it is gelatinous white. So gelatinous white, and on adding excess NaOH, the PPT dissolves, forming a colorless solution. So you can understand the PPT in this case, on adding excess NaOH, the PPT dissolve. On adding excess NaOH, PPT dissolve, forming what? Forming a colorless solution. Now that reaction also you have to show here. ZnOH whole twice and NaOH. Okay, so this precipitate is formed, and then we are adding excess NaOH, and we will get sodium zincate, Na2ZnO2 and water. So this is a colorless solution. So this salt dissolves in water. So we get a colorless solution. Understand? So therefore you have to remember, so far what we have done up to 1 to 4, we have seen on adding excess NOH, all those are insoluble, except that of calcium, that was sparingly soluble. But from number 5, you see we are doing zinc salt. So remember, zinc salt on excess NOH, it dissolves, unlike the other precipitate that we have done. So on excess NOH, it dissolves, forming a colorless solution, and therefore this is a very important reaction. So they generally ask this, what happens when we add NOH solution to zinc sulfate or to zinc nitrate or to zinc chloride solution in excess. So anything you can understand, ZnSO4 plus NOH, you will get ZnOH whole twice plus Na2SO4. If you take zinc nitrate plus NOH, you will get ZnOH whole twice plus NaNO3. But in all these cases, the precipitate, the gelatinous white that is formed on adding excess NOH, the gelatinous white precipitate will dissolve, forming a colorless solution. Why is that? This is the precipitate, zinc hydroxide, reacting with NaOH, and we are getting sodium zincate, Na2ZnO2 plus H2, and this is a colorless solution. So it's a very important reaction. And next is lead salt. So lead salts, that is Pb plus 2 ions. Okay. Now suppose if you take lead nitrate, PbNO3 whole twice and plus NaOH. So we'll get what? PbOH whole twice. So we'll get a white precipitate here also, chalky white PPT, and plus NaNO3. Okay, NaNO3. And then here also on adding excess NaOH, the white PPT dissolves, forming a colorless solution. Okay, so in this case also, just like zinc salt, on adding excess NOH, the PPT was dissolving, forming a colorless solution. The same observation here, that on adding excess NOH, the white PPT dissolve, forming a colorless solution. So the reaction you have to give, there is PbOH whole twice. So this is the chalky white PPT, and we are adding excess NaOH. So this is excess. So you should write here excess, and then we'll get here sodium plumbate. Okay, because we are using lead here, sodium hydroxide, sodium plumbate. So that is Na2 PbO2 plus H2. So this is sodium plumbate. Okay, and this is sodium zincate. Okay, so this reaction is also very important. So understand, so we have what we have studied here, we have studied at least 6 identifications. Okay, this is number 6. So 6 types of positive ions we have learned how to identify by the color of their precipitate. And in this part also, what you have to study, first of all you have to study what precipitate you are getting, the color, and then you have to also study on adding excess to that precipitate, whether it is soluble or insoluble. So in the previous 4 we have seen they are insoluble on adding excess NOH, except calcium to some extent it is sparingly soluble, but all the others, copper, iron, all those are insoluble on adding excess. But zinc salt and lead salt, that is zinc hydroxide and lead hydroxide precipitate that you are getting on adding excess NOH, these precipitate are getting dissolved, and then you have to give the reaction also, the precipitate that is formed and we are adding excess In case of zinc, we are getting sodium zincate, and in case of lead, we are getting sodium plumbate. Understand? Okay, now we'll do analytic chemistry with ammonium hydroxide. So far we have done with sodium hydroxide. Now we'll do ammonium hydroxide, and you will see all the reactions are pretty much similar. The only difference is that instead of Na plus, now you have NH4 plus. So the reaction will be similar. There will be a double decomposition reaction, similar precipitation, with some exceptions with sodium hydroxide. Like see in number 1, you can remember with sodium hydroxide the calcium salts were reacting and forming calcium hydroxide as a precipitate. But with ammonium hydroxide no precipitation occurs with calcium salts, because ammonium hydroxide is a weak alkali, weak base, and the concentration of OH in ammonium hydroxide is very low, and therefore the calcium hydroxide is not precipitated out with this. Okay, so that is the thing. Now we'll do ferrous salt. So here also we'll do with ferrous salt, ferric salt, lead salt, zinc salt, copper salt, and the reactions will be similar. So with ferrous salt, say suppose we take ferrous sulfate FeSO4 and then NH4OH, same reaction, similar. You get FeOH whole twice, precipitate dirty green, and what you get, ammonium sulfate NH4 whole 2 SO4. Okay, and the color of the precipitate, ferrous hydroxide, the color is dirty green. So the color is dirty green, and here also you have to understand, on adding excess what will happen, that also you have to mention. On adding excess NH4OH, the PPT, it remains insoluble. So here also, in this case also, the PPT does not dissolve. So the PPT remains insoluble. Okay, the PPT remains insoluble. So we have taken ferrous sulfate and NH4OH, we get ferrous hydroxide and NH4O2SO4. We can also do with ferrous chloride, we'll get here NH4Cl. We can use ferrous nitrate, we'll get here ammonium nitrate. But the precipitation will be same, dirty green precipitate. Okay. Now next is ferric salt. So if I take ferric sulfate Fe2SO4 whole 3 and plus NH4OH, so similar reaction here also, FeOH whole thrice plus NH4 whole 2 SO4, and the precipitate, and here the precipitate, ferric hydroxide, the precipitate is reddish brown. So reddish brown precipitate. And in this case also, on adding excess NH4OH, the PPT remains insoluble. Okay. Now lead salt. That is Pb plus 2. lead nitrate, NH4OH. So what we get? PbOH whole twice and plus NH4NO3. Okay. And then here also you get that chalky white precipitate. That's simply white precipitate. Sometimes we write so chalky white precipitate, and then in this case also on adding excess the PPT remains insoluble. Okay, so on adding excess NH4OH, the PPT remains insoluble. Okay. Okay, next is copper salt. So here also suppose copper sulfate. So copper sulfate plus NH4OH, what you will get? CuOH whole twice, that's pale blue precipitate, and NH4 whole 2 SO4. So here we get a pale blue PPT, and again here also you have to write on adding excess NH4OH, the pale blue precipitate dissolves, forming deep blue solution. Deep blue, that's azure blue, we say azure blue or inky blue. So that's deep blue solution, generally we say azure blue or inky blue solution of tetramine, tetramine copper 2 sulfate. Okay, so here the copper salt, the copper hydroxide that is formed, and on adding excess NH4OH, the pale blue PPT dissolves. So on adding excess NOH, the pale blue PPT dissolves and forming a deep blue solution of what? Tetramine copper 2 sulfate. Okay, now see how the reaction happens. Now what we got pale blue PPT of COH whole twice, and with this, in this reaction again we are adding excess NH4OH. So the reaction goes like this: COH whole twice and plus NH4 whole 2 SO4 was also present, so that will also react here on adding excess NH4OH. So and on adding excess NH4OH, now what will happen? We will get a solution of what? Tetramine copper 2 sulfate. Now sometimes the students find difficult to remember this formula, tetramine copper 2 sulfate. Now how I say like this, you can remember, you just write copper sulfate. So copper sulfate, you know the formula of copper sulfate, that is CuSO4. So just write copper sulfate. So copper sulfate, but keep a blank in between and write copper sulfate. So what you write? CuSO4. So I have written copper sulfate. Now you have to put tetramine inside it. Okay, tetramine. Amine means ammonia, that's NH3. So you write NH3 And you know tetramine means, tetra means 4, so it becomes NH3 whole 4, and then you give a bracket like this. So you can understand, you see copper sulfate CuSO4, and then you write tetramine. Tetra means 4, amine means ammonia, so the formula is actually CuNH3 whole twice, whole 4 and SO4, and this is what we call as tetramine copper to sulfate. Understand? So it's a very important reaction. Okay. And next, the last reaction is with zinc salt. Now zinc salt, okay, write with red. Okay, so in zinc salt also the reaction is same. Instead of, just the difference is that you will get zinc hydroxide and you will get tetramine zinc 2 sulfate, and you will get a colorless solution. Here you are getting deep blue solution. In case of zinc, first you will get a white PPT and then you will get a colorless solution. So it's simple. So again you can write here also that Zn zinc sulfate, you see what you write, ZnSO4 plus NH4OH. What you get, first ZnOH whole twice PPT, and that is gelatinous white precipitation. So gelatinous white, and we are getting ammonium sulfate NH4 whole 2 SO4, and then ZnOH whole twice. Sorry, on adding excess, you have to write that statement. So on adding excess of NH4OH, the white PPT dissolves. Okay, the white PPT dissolves, forming a colorless solution of tetramine zinc sulfate. Okay, so tetramine zinc sulfate, in fact zinc, that's zinc sulfate, or we say zinc 2 sulfate, right? Okay, so again similar reaction. So we got what? We got these two, zinc hydroxide and NH4 whole 2 SO4, and with this we are adding excess NH4OH. So this is excess, and this was the precipitate. This is a white PPT, and ammonium sulfate, and with that we are using NH4OH, excess NH4OH, and in this case also we will get what? Tetramine zinc 2 sulfate. Similarly we will write the reaction here also, means the formula Zn, you write SO4, so zinc sulfate, and then you give tetramine. So tetramine means NH3, and that is 4 tetra, and give a bracket. So this is the positive part, this is the negative part. So this is tetramine zinc 2 sulfate. Tetramine zinc 2 sulfate. So this is also very important reaction. Okay, understand? Okay, now so far what we have done with NaOH and we are done with NH4OH. And what I told you, you have to learn what? First, what precipitate is formed, and then on adding excess NaOH or excess NH4OH, what is happening to the precipitate? The precipitate is dissolving or not dissolving, you know. Sometimes the students get confused in this too, because we have seen in NaOH, on adding excess NaOH, you know, to which two salt? In case of NaOH, you remember zinc plus 2 and lead plus 2, the PPT dissolves, right? But in case of NH4OH, you remember, on adding excess NH4OH, now which two salts are actually dissolving? Cu plus 2 and Zn plus 2. In case of this two, the PPT dissolves. Okay, so don't get confused. So when we are using NaOH, in NaOH the precipitate of zinc hydroxide and lead hydroxide on excess is dissolving, and in case of NH4OH, the precipitate of copper hydroxide and zinc hydroxide, it is dissolving. Okay, so let's do the revision again. If you remember, zinc, now suppose I take zinc sulfate and NaOH, what you will get? ZnOH whole twice plus Na2SO4, okay, plus Na2SO4, and then so we get this as a white PPT, gelatinous white, and on adding excess, so what we do? ZnOH whole twice, okay, and on adding excess NaOH, so this is excess, what you got? You got Na2ZnO2 plus H2O, okay. Similarly, in similar case in lead also, lead nitrate, suppose PbNO3 whole twice plus NaOH, what you will get? PbOH whole twice plus NaNO3, okay, I'm writing here NaNO3, and this PbOH is also white PPT, and with this white PPT PbOH whole twice, we are adding excess of NaOH, so it's forming colorless solution of sodium plumbate, Na2PbO2 plus H2, so you get what? Colorless solution, and in this case also you are getting colorless solution. So when we are using NaOH, zinc precipitate and lead precipitate dissolving excess of NaOH, forming their colorless solution. And in case of NH4OH, copper and zinc, so again let's revise: copper sulfate plus NH4OH, what you get? CuOH whole twice, that's pale blue precipitate, and what? NH4 whole 2 SO4, and again on adding excess, this pale blue precipitate will dissolve. So how to do? CuOH whole twice and plus NH4 whole 2 SO4, and then excess NH4OH, so this is excess, and what you get? You get tetramine copper 2 sulfate, I am writing here tetramine copper sulfate, so copper sulfate you write, then tetramine NH3, and then whole 4, and this is deep blue solution, as you know, so deep blue excess, okay, deep blue solution or azure blue solution. And in case of zinc also similar reaction, again you take zinc sulfate plus NH4OH, what you get? ZnOH whole twice plus NH4 whole 2 SO4, so this is again gelatinous white PPT, and on adding excess of NH4OH to this white PPT, it get dissolved. So first ZNOH and NH4 whole to SO4, and then we are adding excess of NH4OH, and then finally what you get, we get here also tetramine zinc 2 sulfate. So we write zinc sulfate, then we write amine NH3, we write tetramine zinc, and then we get, and this is a colorless solution. So understand, in this full analytic chemistry chapter, this 4 reaction is very important and this surely comes in exam. So so just remember in this way. So in case of sodium hydroxide, zinc and lead in excess is dissolving, and in case of ammonium hydroxide, copper and zinc in excess is dissolving. Okay, so this is only given in the reduced and the final ICSE syllabus. If you see in the syllabus, it's written only NaOH and NH4OH. The reactions are there, and you will find some other reactions in the chapter also. So that's not in the syllabus, but for your knowledge you can go through them. But since I am just exactly teaching with respect to ICSE syllabus, so this is only in the ICSE syllabus. Leaving this, nothing in this chapter is in ICSE syllabus, but in the book you will find other reactions also. You may go through them, okay, for your knowledge. But if I talk about specific ICSE syllabus, it's only reaction with NaOH and reaction with NH4OH with certain salts. Okay, and you can go through also through the ICSE question answers and solve them. Then you can have a proper understanding of this chapter. Okay, so this chapter is over. Okay.